Hello, my name is Rachel Chapko, and I'm so glad you are here to hear this pitch on a business I think can change the world. I'm kind of an intense person, and I can go to level 10 and I can be at level 3, but I like to hang out at like level 6, 7, 8. So if you're like, yep, that's a level like 9, I understand. Give me feedback. I would love that. But at the same time, intense people push ideas that are needed, right? Steve Jobs, intense person, right? I'm not saying I'm Steve Jobs. I'm not saying any of that, but I am saying I have a crazy idea that I think can revolutionize how family life is, okay? And I'm so excited that you are here. I'm so excited that you are willing to listen. Welcome to my garage. This is kind of it. But I know that the people that are listening that this message is for will not see the garage, will not see the crazy lady, will not see, they'll see the need that this fixes and the vision behind it. Again, my name is Rachel Chapko. I'm a mother of 4. I have spent the last few years homeschooling my kids. They're back in public school now. And I've written books about homeschooling. I've written books about parenting. You can find those on Amazon under my name, Rachel Chapko. I started a YouTube channel for supporting parents who were homeschooling during the pandemic. And I just have a heart for families. Being in one, having seen them struggle and knowing what families are feeling nowadays, I'm not going to explain the problem. I'm going to let someone who does it better do that. That's how it should work, right? If someone better can do this, please do it. And so here she is. Don't judge, it's a TikTok, but she explains the problem so well. So I'm going to let her go ahead and do that.
Moms, if you find yourselves checking social media 2 or 3 times a day, you need to do some serious soul searching about how you can make more time for this, because it is fulfilling an important psychological need. For most of human history, women raised their children in tribes and villages, and this gave them a critical sense of well-being. As your ancestors went about their daily work, they were surrounded by familiar adult female human faces, and this signaled to them that they and their children were safe. Now, if your brain is not seeing a bunch of familiar adult faces because you live in suburban isolation, it's going to start flooding you with anxiety signals because it thinks that you and your kids have been abandoned by the tribe. This is why when you check social media and see the familiar faces of your family and friends and that influencer who feels like she's your best friend because you've been kind of stalking her, you feel so much relief because your brain thinks you are back in the safety of your tribe. So sure, to the untrained eye, it could look like you're wasting time on your phone, but you know that you are engaging in village replication time, a strategic process in which you soothe your primal brain by giving it a virtual approximation of the tribal community it was designed to need.
I agree with her entirely. For the first time in history, we are experiencing suburban isolation. Families are becoming more connected. Don't get me wrong, with technology and school, online, all these things. Oh, wow, amazing. It really is. But a huge downside to that and a huge consequence of that is we become really isolated. Even before COVID, we were becoming more isolated. COVID kind of just made it more so. And now we are struggling. Her problem was right. Her solution was wrong. If the answer was just more social media, we wouldn't be seeing headlines like this. It's far away, I know. This is my slideshow, I'm sorry. I tried to do it on Skype and record it and it didn't work. So here we are. I'll read the thing for you. It says, even before COVID-19 pandemic, youth suicide already at record high. We're losing our kids by their own hands. And for what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We have more opportunities now than ever before, and we are losing our kids. And untrained people like me are trying to raise this generation with all of our own generational crap that we're trying to unwind and resolve, and generational trauma, overcoming it, curses. You know what I'm talking about? We are under-equipped and we are isolated, and it is hurting our kids. It is hurting our parents. It is hurting the fabric of our society, and the time for now, okay? I volunteer with the National Child Protection Task Force, which is a wonderful organization of really experienced people. I just somehow got tagged in here, tagged along. Law enforcement, detectives, prosecutors, everybody is joining together to fight human trafficking and child exploitation, because along with technology, all the great things, human trafficking has also exploded. Child exploitation has also exploded. Child sexual abuse material has also exploded. So my job has always been to try to make that aware to families, but they are already so inundated and unsupported that it has been unsuccessful. So pivot, and let me introduce to you Operation Next Gen. Because, sorry about that, you okay? Because the village is broken. Never before in society has it looked like this. Our village is broken. I live in a wonderful area. I live in an area where people are coming and flocking here because of opportunity. But those people that are coming and flocking with their families are not bringing grandparents. They're not bringing aunts and uncles. They're not bringing their village, right? And so even though they're here in the opportunity, isolation is still happening, even to people with wealth, even to people who are doing really well. We're not even talking about the poverty line where real problems are almost impossible to overcome by yourself. We're struggling. The village is broken. So the solution, I know. Hear me out. The solution is a coffee shop that offers childcare membership. Just like my daughter goes to ballet at 4:45, you would come and sign up for a slot where every time at that time, you go and you have 90 minutes where your kids are taken care of and you can relax. Can you imagine just no one's here. You're trying to make new friends. You're trying to learn a new job. Your kids are entering into new schools. Everything is chaos and then everything is bundling up and parents don't have that reprieve. They don't have that time to just a coffee shop that offers childcare. Okay. This is high quality childcare, 90 minutes, and it offers a work rest space for parents. This work rest space for parents is for them to build, okay? There are no Legos unless you want to bring them, but there will be ring lights like what I'm using right now. There will be microphones like I'm using right now. There will be a library where people donate their books with the front cover, their testimony. Hey, this is how it changed my life. Pick it up. We are going to, in this space, eliminate every excuse for that parent not to be who they're supposed to be. We're going to eliminate the whole, I can't be anything, I'm a mom. I can't be anything, I'm a stay-at-home dad. No. You're building yourself and your kids are taken care of, okay? Why a coffee house? I'll tell you the story of how we got to this point with the coffee house idea. I'm in a mom group and it's been such an empowering experience to be around other moms that are wanting to be life-giving, that we are not gossiping. We are intentional about our time together because we want that connection. We need that connection. This connection has literally saved my life. And I want to give this connection to everybody else through this coffee shop. So how did this coffee shop idea come about? My friend Felicia, she is the best at icebreakers. Oh my gosh. So she asked us all one time, what would you be doing if you could do anything? I said I wanted to be a puppeteer on Sesame Street. You know what she said? She said she wanted to open a coffee shop with a play place for the kids so you get your work done. And I was like, girl, yes. And so over time, I couldn't forget what she said. And so over time, I was just like, okay. And it turned into this. Is this the final product? I don't know, but this is where we're at. And I am looking for the people that believe in this and have the skills for this and have the passion for this to change it into what it's supposed to be. Okay, so this is the ugly baby stages, like Pixar calls their movies. They have to start at the ugly baby stage. This is it. But I think this is it. Okay, if we have to drop the coffee shop piece because that was just how we got here, I'm for that. Okay, I'm not saying it has to be a coffee shop, but that's how we got here. And I think there's still magic here because when I started looking up coffee shops, I'm not a historian. But when I watch YouTube, it's history content. I'm like, thank you, YouTube. You know what I like. And so I started researching coffee shops. And coffee came around about 1400, 1500, current era or whatever. And it started off in like the Arabian area and moved over to Europe. And every single time since its inception, where a revolution happened, coffee shops were there. For the first time in history, a drink was offered in contrast to the beer that they were used to. Society was, I'm sure it wasn't like 20 proof, but still, if that's the drink you're drinking all day, you're a little bit intoxicated all day. And so people would not be able to be social because it would end up in brawls and all this stuff. But a coffee shop, for the price of a cup of coffee, Rich man, poor man, sit down, have a conversation. That's change. That was a threat to so many leaders that they tried to ban it. They tried to ban coffee, and no, you can't do that. Society did not have any part in that. They called them the penny universities because for the first time ever, everybody could come around and not be drunk in brawls when we had a disagreement. Talk through the disagreements. Talk through what's going on. Collaboration on all levels. American Revolution, coffee shops. You talk the patriotism. What is it? Patriotism. You know what I'm trying to say. Throw the tea in the harbor. It's coffee now. Are you kidding me? Okay, even the French Revolution, the cafes, coffee houses are the powerhouse for revolution. And I think that we can call on that same kind of power now. Yeah, we aren't drinking beer all day, but we are overdosing on dopamine all day. We have never been so distracted. We've never been so numb. Social media, online gaming, pornography. We are numb as a society, and we don't need more screens. I'm just as bad at it. If my kid's story's too dull, TikTok, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to admit it, but like, we kind of have to at this point. Our kids are being handed screens, and that's how predators are accessing them. What's up, Gia? My daughter's here now. Human traffickers are grooming kids on the screens, and nobody's paying attention because we're on our own screens, okay? I'm not saying screens are bad. I'm just saying we are so distracted and we're having real consequences from it. Revolution, a coffee house that offers childcare, okay? But I swear to gosh, we are not back there with your kids watching The Little Mermaid, okay? We are being intentional with this time, with these children, with the next generation. Everywhere from babies on up to high school, we are pouring life into them. Let's take the babies first. Babies are not getting enough face time, okay? Hopefully they're seeing good stuff on screens. Like I said, a lot of bad is on screens. Hopefully they're seeing the good stuff. But even if they're watching something kind of like Blue's Clues, like I grew up with, where he's all interacting with you and you're like, yeah, yes, you are responding, but he's not giving you the feedback that you need. There is a social dance that happens when you learn how to smile at someone, when you learn how to frown at someone, when you learn empathy, when you see these babies are missing out on that on a level not before. Like I said, I'm a transparent person. When I was nursing my baby, I was on TikTok. The time that nature gave me to bond with my baby, to interact with my baby, I scrolled through Facebook. I cared about everything else other than the FaceTime I was supposed to give my baby at that moment. And so, why is this a big deal? Because if you don't get that practice, those years of practice, when you enter into kindergarten, oh my gosh, the social anxiety hits. And it's hitting our kids hard. We've never had a mental health crisis like what we are experiencing now. I mean, I'm sure there was. I'm not saying like World War II, like all those things. Like, don't get me wrong, but the mental health field is not prepped for what we are experiencing. A lot of us are trying to break generational curses, but we don't have the support we need. There's a problem here. And so that's what the babies, there's always going to be a lead teacher and a helper. And I swear to gosh, it's not going to be us having a conversation, the teacher and the helper. It's us having a conversation where we interact, where we just talk about what's happening with these, like we narrate what's happening for these babies. So we're getting them that language. We're interacting with them so that they know and have the practice on what to do and how to do this social thing that we're all lacking. We all need to be seen, and most of us are not. That's a part of life we need. Older kids, okay? I love older kids, but they are so stressed out by the weight of the problems that have not been solved. I don't know what's causing the death rate of children to climb by suicide. I don't know what it is, but I can't imagine being a kid and being like, oh my gosh, this is what we're in and no one's doing about it. Like, the hope is gone. This space, we're not prepping for standardized testing, okay? We're not doing anything like that. I love the school system. I got my physics degree to try to teach it, but with the teaching program I was in, there was just one heavy semester. I was a mom with my husband, but like we weren't married yet. And then my two kids, little kids, we're trying to raise kids and both students and all these things. And it was just got to be too much, and I had to cut something off. So I cut off that teaching program. I still have the physics degree. So I have this heart for teaching kids, and this is where my heart really lies in this whole coffee shop thing. These older kids are going to be asked, hey, what sucks at school? What sucks in your life right now? A friend of mine, we're not gossip, no gossip. A friend of mine, she ran away, but I don't really think she ran away. I knew she was talking to some guy. I think she's with him. I'm so glad you brought this here. We need to get NCPTF, National Child Protection Task Force, to kind of get in on this a little bit, because that kind of looks like what human trafficking looks like right now, okay? Do you think kids know what it looks like at your school? No, I don't think so. Do you think we need to do a campaign, an awareness campaign? I think so. And then you're really good at coding. You're really good at graphic design. You're really good at making calligraphy, all the things. You're really good at writing papers. We pull our strengths. We got weaknesses. Everybody's got weaknesses. You got unlimited weaknesses. We can't strengthen them all up, but we can work on our strengths and we can match strengths, okay? We're a team. Everything you do in life, you're going to need a team. This is a team. We're going to launch that human trafficking campaign. We're going to launch a campaign for how simple things we can do to curb climate change. Are you kidding me? We're going to instill, I wrote it down, leadership. Leadership skills. I want to model from the Silicon Valley education system, and I want to put it here in this 90 minutes every week. And these kids. These kids aren't going to see problems and be crushed by them. They're going to see these problems, find the team they need, and solve them. Tell me this can't change. Major waves. Our kids need to be seen. Our parents need to be supported. It all starts with a coffee shop that offers childcare. The mission is to create this community for every family despite socioeconomic class. Just like the coffee shops of old, rich man, poor man, $1 cup of coffee or whatever it was, But this childcare is going to be expensive. It has to be. Level 1 is me working at a coffee shop. I talked to a startup strategist, and I'm so grateful for her. She said this is a really risky business. You're putting the most risk into this business because the risky businesses are food and drink, coffee, and then also childcare. That's what we're doing. And then also shared spaces, this workspace. Everything that you're trying to do is really risky. But she said, I hope you succeed. I want this to be available for everyone, despite how expensive it is, even though it's risky, okay? Even though it's risky. Everyone can afford this through a work pay program where you serve 90 minutes to get your 90 minutes. Like I said, there's a lead teacher. This person will have a bachelor's degree. I'm hoping this role can be filled by all of the teachers that are having to walk away from the profession because of their mental health, because it's too much. The burnout. Those teachers went in to change the lives of children, and they're having to walk away because it's damaging to them. This is them, okay? They're pouring life into these kids. We're not prepping for standardized testing. We're pouring life into these kids. We have a passion for teaching. This is you, okay? The helper, though, is going to be someone that's serving 90 minutes, give 90 minutes, get 90 minutes, give 90 minutes, get 90. But we're not just throwing this person in there with no training at all. No. This training that they will go through a month, I don't know what it is yet. I want to get the people that know what to put in this training. Tell me what to put in this training. Gentle parenting techniques, emotional intelligence for the parent, emotional intelligence for the child, understanding how this all works, how to solve a conflict with a 3-year-old having a tantrum. These are the skills that we are going to train them to have in the classroom, but it isn't just the classroom. When these parents go home to poverty, they're not going to be alone. They're not going to have to they're going to have tools that keep them from just resorting to spanking every time. They're going to have the training. They're going to have it every single, it's not just the training. This is what we're practicing. This is the culture of each classroom. We work with these kids. We pour life into these kids. We pour life into you too. You matter. We support parents and invest in children. And this training equips them to change their lives. We are eliminating future drama through this relationship with a coffee house that offers childcare. We're giving parents tools they wouldn't otherwise have. We are preventing good people from becoming abusers out of a bad situation. That was me. I swear to God. I didn't want to do this. The first year we started homeschooling, I knew we needed community. I knew we needed to dive in, but it got to be too much. And it got to be too much. And there was one time, I don't even remember what the argument was. I wanted to take my son to the library. He said no, and I just backhanded him. And I regret that moment so much. But I was unsupported. I didn't have the tools. And that's happening everywhere. We support parents and we invest in children. You know that whole TikTok thing, well, what about me? And I'm like, it's hard because I'm like, here, we're going to build this coffee shop. And I'm so excited to tell my son. And I'm just like, this is what I wanted. This is what I needed. And I'm not saying any of this is an excuse, but we can prevent this same guilt. We can prevent this same trauma. We can prevent this. This is how you break generational curses, through a coffee shop that offers childcare. All right. The training program is for these parents. You have to, if you want to be a server, you have to go through this training program, but that training program is available to other parents too. If you're a part of this, come to this training. It's mandatory if you want to serve. And the reason why is because, like, at first I was like, well, why are the rich people going to be okay with the poor people watching their kids? Because that's kind of, I hate to say it like that, but that's kind of how it is, how it will be. But with this training, they're going to see it and they're going to have the same skills, because I'm not guaranteed. I'm not so sure that they have that. You know, just because you got wealth doesn't mean you have parenting tools. So that's what we're going to be dispersing through a coffee shop that offers childcare. The business model is where it's kind of risky. Coffee sales, right? Coffee shop. Membership sales, it's going to be expensive because we're at level 1 where I should get a job at a coffee shop to get experience in case I want to get the loan. That's what the business startup strategist told me. So grateful for her wisdom. I'm so grateful for her wisdom. But she said that it's a risk point. We have to be able to find the balance between membership and work, pay people. At first she was like, can we do this as a nonprofit? And I was like, I don't really want it to be a nonprofit. And here's why. I know this is a really long video. I'm so thankful for your time. When we were in school, 2 little kids, raising and going to school, we were on a lot of services. We were on Medicaid, thank God. And we were on food stamps. We were on all these things. And so when my husband got a good job and we were launched out of that season of life, it hurt. It hurt to leave Medicaid. It hurt to leave these securities that kept us in survival mode. I don't want this to be a nonprofit. No, you're here to build, okay? We're building. We're not here to pacify you. We're not here to get you by. We're building. We are empowering you. This is the mission statement. We empower families by supporting parents and investing in children. We are empowering you to get out. If this was a nonprofit, they would always want services, okay? I'm not saying they, like, I wanted services, okay? It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out. I think this, as a business, doesn't prey on people's misfortunes. It helps them build. It gives them the mentality, hey, this is a business. We're building. What are you building? So, that's kind of, I'm not quite done, but that is where we're at. If someone could take this and build this so that I could have this, I would love it. I do not feel equipped to lead this. But because I don't have the experience of a business, I'm just a mom trying to end human trafficking and trying to support families. I'm just a mom with this vision, and I'm just a mom with this passion, and I'm just a mom that is willing to build and be a part of a team that can make this happen. You know, when we talked to the the expert, she said, this is going to be like $300,000, $400,000 you're going to have to get a loan for. And I was like, oh. And I told my husband, he was like, no. And so the reason why I'm making this video, and the reason why I'm thankful you are watching this video, you may not have that kind of money just to hand me, but can you see the level of change, the level of healing that can happen? We're at level 1 where I should be getting a job at a coffee shop, but level 7, level 10, when this builds, I want to have a team mental health professionals, that we are dispersing that content throughout if this franchises, you know what I mean? I want to have a team of educators this is how we are building these, and that we will develop curriculum that will go out every week so that this teacher, she knows exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to launch all this stuff on YouTube so that even if there's no coffee shop, if you're someplace rural, but you have a community, you can still do what we're doing here because we give it out for free on YouTube. And then I want content creators. Books are going to be produced. Books are going to be written and dispersed. What is her? I don't know why I just lost her name. Dolly Parton, the Queen. I want her to be like, yep, this is a book that's going out. Books about consent, books about things that we need to be talking about, sexual health, so that we aren't getting trapped in sexual abuse online or off. These children, oh my gosh. What else? Oh, content creators. Oh, picture this. You go to the library, 50% fiction, 50% nonfiction, right? Video games, 90% fiction. I don't know the number, but like the power of video games is so strong. Why are we not using that for education? That is where we could be. And I don't care if the kids that are in this and we're like, hey, what kind of problems do you want to solve? And then they come up and like, they build the team that makes all this stuff. We support parents and invest in children. So I'm looking for teams. I'm looking for a way to make this happen. I'm a lady in her garage right now talking crazy. But can you see how this changes so many lives? Where regularly these kids are getting their strengths built up. They're being seen. We celebrate your birthday here. Everybody's showing up. Are you kidding me? This is your birthday time. This is the tribe. This is the village. This is how we rebuild it. Through a coffee shop that offers childcare. Is it crazy? Yeah. Can it work? I think so. I do need to get 200 things of saying, yes, I would pay for that. Yes, I do need that. If you are watching this and you're a mom like me, say, yes, I do need that. Show me. I don't care if this gets 2 views and 2, yes, I need that. That matters. If you would like this to happen, let me know. I think it should. I think it can change massive issues we have right now. Starting with social isolation. Starting with the broken village. Let's rebuild it. Let's revolutionize with a coffee shop that offers childcare. I love you. I thank you for watching this message. I'm excited to see how this churns your heart and the teams that are built. It's bamboo season. Love y'all. Bye.